The road to WrestleMania begins at the Royal Rumble, and last night was this year's edition and a very eventful one. Hello, welcome to BunkaMania UK here on Twitch. I'm, of course, the Dekker Dane, joined by Harriet, aka Manga Girl, and it's time for another edition of BunkaMania Wrestling Podcast here on the channel, which we haven't done in a while. I can't remember the last event we covered together. It's been a while, but what a way to start off the year with a good old-fashioned Royal Rumble, to be perfectly honest. Yes, we did live reactions to this last night on the Twitch channel, which you can catch the VOD. So if you want to watch the Rumbles with our reactions, then you're more than welcome to go and do so over on twitch.tv/BunkaMania UK. And yeah, that finished about 12 hours ago, give or take. More than 12, probably 13 hours ago. And I have had some sleep. I've even shaved the beard a bit. So it's like you can tell that I felt the need to be a bit more fresh and kind of alert and with it. I might not be, but who knows? I'm feeling sort of refreshed. How are you feeling, Harriet?
I did have a bit of a headache when I woke up, but I think that was me trying not to scream as much, and I kind of held it in. And once I had my breakfast, I was fine. So it was just more, I think I needed food and water more than anything, because my God, there were so many things happened in that show last night. It was just like, oh my God. So I'm better now. I am better. Had a bit of I'm going to exercise after this, so that's when I'll properly freshen up, do my hair and whatnot. But it's just like, I had a spring clean. So that kind of helped calm me down a little before doing this and analysing what happened.
I mean, the Rumble, I think the Rumble finished about 3:30. I didn't really get to bed till about 5 because I was looking at people's reactions from the other wrestling channels that I follow and support. So that'll be Wrestle Talk, Cultaholic, Going in Raw, kind of just gauging opinions about the event as a whole in terms of winners, results, that sort of stuff. I think generally overall, and as we start off every kind of PLE pay-per-view, we have initial thoughts. I think this was a fine Rumble. I think this was a very good, entertaining event. It was not perfect, and I think there's probably one match that I felt like needed a bit more to it, and we'll get into that a bit later on. But no, I think both Rumbles were very entertaining. Both Rumbles had their little moments. I think out of the two this year, I think the men's Rumble is probably the Rumble to watch, just simply for the sheer star power and storylines going into it. I think some of the choices make sense. Some of the choices are intriguing. Some of the choices are exciting, and it's just, we're on the road to WrestleMania. I feel like there's an air of, especially with the card still, I think for certain elements of the card, women's championships, that sort of stuff, I think there's a bit more certainty of where we're going. For the men's, in terms of championships and main events, it becomes a bit more unpredictable. And I think we wanted that level of unpredictability. It's like when The Rock just randomly turned up like a week after Cody won the Rumble to go, oh, by the way, I'm here and I want to get involved. And everyone got confused and angry and then went, oh wait, this makes sense now. Well, this sort of works. We've pivoted again. I don't know. I'm happy with this Rumble. I think it sets up the road for Elimination Chamber, through the European tour, that sort of stuff. I think it sets up some very interesting possibilities. What do you mean, Harriet?
Yeah, I agree. I think the men's was definitely better than the women's this year, because the women's, it was like so many different things happening that there wasn't really a cohesive storyline really between it. But the men's, it's so unpredictable, as you said. It was just more, what could happen? You had like an array of people who could win. The women's, you knew who was going to win. So with the men, it was a case of the way the middle, when it kicked up, and then towards the end where it was just like, oh my God, this is actually happening. And then shock factor kicked in properly. Then the two matches in between, yes, one of them, could have been better. And the other one, oh my God, my poor back. I felt every spot in that. But in all, I really enjoyed the Rumble. And as you said, it's a good kickoff to WrestleMania, because this is now the kickoff. you got like the European tour and then the actual event and then Elimination Chamber, which is going to be quite interesting in regards to what happened after Royal Rumble with interviews. But I did enjoy this. I'm glad we live reacted to this because I mean last year we were at the Wrestle Talk watch along and even then it was just as shocking. So it was good that we kind of got our reactions as well. And seeing that I haven't watched everyone else's reactions. I've only seen Wrestle Talks and Cultaholics at the moment, but I just need to watch others. But my word, it was a great way to kick off the road to WrestleMania, I will say.
Indeed. And if you'd like to share your thoughts on this year's Royal Rumble, do let us know in the chat. We'll try and read out some messages as we go along. And yes, we'll gauge some opinion about the winners per se and everything else in between. So as we always do, we do a sort of play-by-play. We sort of lightly go over what happened in the show, pick out the highlights, talk about the matches. And nearly had a bit of a cough there. It's okay, I've stopped it. I've been just for clarity to viewers and listeners. I've had a flu a couple of weeks ago, and I have had this very lingering cough, which is kind of sparks off if I go into a bit of a laughing fit. So I need to stop being silly today. But then where's the fun in that?
It's like serious mode, but also no, we're gonna have a bit of fun, sort of thing.
I mean, we had fun on live reactions last night in terms of things that just came out of nowhere. Not in terms of like what happened on the screen, but in terms of just thought processes at about 1 a.m.
Mind breaking and just cracking up. Yeah.
Yeah. Case in point, the machine guns, and it's like if they were in WWE under the bad old regime, you can tell that one of them will be called Motor City, and the other one will be called Machine Gun. And then the question is who is who? Which one is Shelley and which one's Sabin? Who knows? But no. That's just silly, and we need to stop right now. So we kick off things. We kick off the PLE with the Women's Royal Rumble match. 30 women competing for a shot at either Rhea Ripley or Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. And this is where a lot of NXT cameos came in as well. So we had NXT appearances by, and I've got to double check my list here. We've got Roxanne Perez, we've got Stephanie Vicure, we've got Julia, we had Jada Parker, and we also had Lash Legend as well.
Yes.
On there, and then I think we have talked about this on the live reactions, and I'm not sure if we've talked about this previously on an episodes, but the thing with this Rumble was fine. This Rumble was entertaining. I think there have been previous women's Rumbles where it's just been, I think the worst offending women's Rumble was like 22 when Ronda Rousey came back and just won.
Yeah.
And it was just nothing really worked with that. It was a very weird thing. It was a bad Rumble. It was a very bad Rumble. So was the men's in 2022. And that's the thing. Sometimes when you've got this, if this person's in the Rumble, well, they're clearly winning it. I mean, we had in terms of storylines going into this Rumble, there wasn't much. And the thing we had was basically we've had like tag team, I wouldn't say faction warfare, but just kind of tag team melees. I mean, you've got Liv and Raquel for Judgment Day. You've got Bianca and Naomi, tag team champions. We've got the new makeshift team of Jax and Candice LeRae following Tiffany Stratton turning her back and getting the championship. They had been colliding a lot left, right, and center. And then you've had a lot of the other the other female superstars as kind of having their own kind of stories that don't necessarily have like blended in with one another as well as say the men's one. And I think that hurt this Rumble overall in terms of like story satisfaction, because usually when you saw people kind of engage in the Rumble, there wasn't much going on. A good case in point is the Roxanne Perez and Bayley thing at the moment going on. They're kind of feuding across shows. I think there is a triple threat with Julia coming up at Vengeance Day in a couple of weeks, and you kind of think they would kind of try and progress that. And I think they did little bits of that in like the wrestling and in ring work, but when it came to like elements of like the eliminations, didn't really kind of happen.
No.
And it's kind of like these storylines. I mean, it's like it's like Chelsea Green, Meechin, B-Fab, Piper Niven. Again, not that there's a storied interaction there over the last couple of weeks, but not necessarily the focus of, say, Chelsea Green's like Rumble win in this one. Or not Rumble win, but Rumble appearance in this one. Simply because, Chelsea Green, I think, was just the MVP for comedy's sake. Because the amount of times like Chelsea Green was trying to do stuff and then just got injured, or basically tried to make friends. There was a really good moment. There's a really good moment in the match where you've got Bianca, Naomi, Lash Legend, and I'm trying to think who else is in there. It's like I think it might have been Jada Parker or something. I'm not sure.
I think it might have been, yeah.
They're all just kind of no, it's B-Fab. Sorry, B-Fab. Oh. And they're all in the middle of the ring, and they're all just kind of going, "Hey, we're doing good. This is good." It's like, "Hey, you're here. You're here. It's all good." And then Chelsea Green just comes in the middle, saying, "I'm here too. We're all having fun. We're all having fun." And then everyone just stared at her and went, "You're here."
It's like the episode of the B Sharps where Wiggum just turns up at the end. The B Sharps.
I was like, "Go, no, Chelsea, no." But Chelsea's tenure in the Rumble this year came at the end of an accidental elimination, I think, from Piper Niven as well. So it's like there have been interactions, there have been like things, but nothing really kind of storyline sense. I mean, Ivy Nile, Maxine Dupree had a bit, then Ivy Nile and Lyra Valkyria had a little bit as well, because the Women's Intercontinental Championship there as well. I mean, all of a sudden, Pure Fusion Collective of Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark seem to be a dangerous unit, where for like the last couple of weeks or months, they've not really been a dangerous unit.
No, they've kind of been seen as like the laughing stock of the women's division, or like, what a funny name sort of thing. And then suddenly, oh my, they could actually do something.
Yes. It's like they're being, what's the word? It's like, their booking up until this match was mostly, okay, we're a little bit vicious. But when it came to like the big matches, they didn't get any wins. It was just very weird. And I don't understand it. But here they are. It's like, it took a lot of people to eliminate them all at the same time. But it's like, again, it's like some strange storyline consistencies a little bit in this Rumble. It really didn't hurt the Rumble in any sake, this one. But it's just like, when you look at the storytelling building of the men's, and I hate to keep going back to like when you look at the men's Rumble, almost like,
I know what you mean.
It's like when you compare it to like the build of the men's, it's just like it's night and day. There's not much storylines going on apart from, we're just all fighting. Why? I don't know.
Just cause.
just cause none of us are going to Mania at this moment in time. I don't know. All that sort of stuff. I mean, the little bits are kind of dropped in as well. One of the big appearances at the Rumble, Jordan Grace finally signed as a WWE star, coming in, having another good showing as well, lifting up Piper Niven and doing a massive slam as well. Jeez, I think that got the attention of the commentators, all kind of stood up from their desk going, "What's going on?" But there's a very interesting character beat of Naomi and Jordan hugging, like they did last year, before they started punching each other. But they didn't start punching each other this year. They just kind of hug. It's like, "Yeah, you're finally here. You're with me in this promotion." And Bianca Belair's going, "Hey, wait a minute. What are you doing, friend? She's not part of our group." And it built a bit of tension. So you're kind of going, if you think about the Jay Cargill situation in terms of the attack and all that sort of stuff, it sows some little like seeds there of, okay.
Yes.
Bianca's a bit jealous about something here. So if you're thinking about Jade, could Bianca be the one to have taken out Jade because she's jealous about something, or jealous about the attention Jade's getting, all that sort of stuff? So little bits there. I mean, I've talked a little bit about some of these elements of the. I mean, there's obviously a very big return we can talk about. There's also a few legend appearances. Harriet, give me some of your thoughts on this Rumble.
I agree. Unfortunately, it is like night and day. It's such a like, and you know me, I love women's wrestling, but this was not it for me. I mean, I enjoyed it, but out of the two, I preferred the men's. As you said, it was pretty much, you had so many of these stories happening, but nothing happened. It was kind of, well, let's just attack the other women sort of thing, like the whole Bailey and Roxanne Perez. That's still, that's an ongoing thing. But then once they attacked, it's like, oh, there's other women, boom, sort of thing. And that was kind
Yeah.
of the theme of the whole thing. I mean, when Pure Fusion Collective hit, that's when it kind of hit up a little bit, and everyone was just like, okay, we'll go against her. Same with Nia Jax when she appeared later on. And it just seems like it was start, stop, and then just a very long stop. And then nothing happened. It was just more like, oh, we're here for the sake of it. Let's just start getting rid of people. Though the whole thing with with Naomi, Bianca, and Jordan, that was the one that kind of like, wait a minute. That was the thing that kind of made me intrigue and think, okay, you have advanced on that. So now we have a feeling of Bianca is jealous, maybe. Or maybe it's protecting Naomi. You don't know. It could be a sort of factor here of like, I don't know. It's just speculation and that sort of thing. The hugest pop of the whole thing was Alexa Bliss, and you saw my reaction. I was literally nearly hopping off the chair. It was just beautiful to see her, because obviously it's always the thing with the dirt sheets. They're saying, oh, she's not going to come back, and just don't worry about it. And then suddenly she's there. So that's why I always take things with a pinch of salt when it comes to Rumble, like Jordan Grace's mum's 50th birthday, which she had to abandon to turn up at Rumble's like, sorry, mum, bigger thing sort of thing.
That's gonna make family catch-ups embarrassing. It's like, so I turned 50. Where were you?
They just sat there
I was in the Rumble.
So how are you? Fine.
But yeah, Alexa Bliss coming back. It was very nice to see it back. It's insane that it's been 2 years since we've seen Alexa Bliss. Obviously, Alexa Bliss went off. She's had a baby with a partner. She's been doing other things as well. She's one of the English dub actors for Sakamoto Days on Netflix, which is currently streaming on Netflix as well. So yeah, it's just nice to see Alexa Bliss back. She came out in Fiend tribute attire. There was a nice little message like Fiend Forever on the back. She has a new version of the Lily doll, which looks a bit more brighter, less paler.
More scary.
Yes. And you can buy a t-shirt for it now, apparently, according to WWE shop throughout the rest of the pay-per-view.
That doll. I mean, now I don't mind dolls, but I somewhat have a tiny fear of them as well, especially like old porcelain dolls. So it kind of like with the one with the teeth, it kind of like, and then every time it jump scared on screen. So this one will grow on me. It's like you said, it's more colorful, so maybe that might help with the fear. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was so nice to see her back. I will say she's looking great as well. Looking amazing.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see what her placement on the shows is going to be. Is she going to be separate? Is she going to be with Wyatt's? I think logic dictates that she will find a way to the White Six in some way when they're back, because one or two of them I think are injured at the moment. So we will definitely see how that plays out. Also had a few legends pop up. We had Trish Stratus, which was nice to see. Titantron saying 25 years, so on the 25-year tour, which is stunning in its own self. It's just like amazing. It's like,
old.
Well, it makes you feel old. It's like, but she still looks so youthful and young, and it's like she can still do it.
She looks great.
And also, fresh off a stint on the US Traitors, Nikki Bella has made a return as well. I mean, the thing is with both Trish and Nikki, it's kind of like, is it cameo or is it going to be a bit of an extended stay, at least for WrestleMania season? I think with the 25-year thing on Trish, I sense there might be something coming here. I think I sense there might be a little bit of a thing going on in terms of what they have planned with WWE. Nikki Bella, I'm not sure. I don't know, because I know there were reports of her coming back as of the Netflix premiere, because she was at the Netflix debut. It's a bit unsure. I mean, great to have Nikki Bella back as an addition to the women's roster. Always will be. I mean, again, in part of this thing of like crossing over to NXT per se at the moment now, especially when NXT has arguably probably the strongest women's division anywhere at the moment, to be perfectly honest.
Agreed.
You kind of feel like if there's any opportunity to kind of get either Trish or Nikki over to NXT just for a one-off match, just for like a special show or something like that. Again, that would be cool. That gets eyes on the products,
Yes.
and so forth. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice. It was nice to see them. It was nice to see them. In terms of, obviously, we'll talk about Charlotte Flair winning in a sec, because obviously Charlotte's back. She's been back since it's been about, again, another year and a bit out because of her a knee injury. She had a knee brace on. But yeah, just quickly going to the point about how there was not much story beats or kind of story elements to this. At least maybe I'd say a quarter or a third of the field were eliminated in one go by Nia Jax. Just casually going, you're all on the apron. All right, off you go. Off you go with a gentle push. And yeah, I remember that in the live reactions, I know Matty Boo was watching remotely as well. He sent through a bit of a tirade of what WTF. And it's like I can kind of see it. I can see how frustrated it is. I mean, they've been building up Nia to be this sort of like dominating machine inside the Rumble. She's always has been in the Rumble. That's the thing. So when Nia Jax turns up, it's either everyone's immediately ganging up and getting her out, or she's going to do some damage, and then someone's going to get lucky to eliminate her unless she wins it. And Roxanne Perez eliminated Nia Jax in the final three.
There is something we didn't bring up, and this kind of relates to all the women being knocked out. We had a new thing come up on Royal Rumble.
We did.
And it didn't, because so many people being eliminated, it couldn't keep up.
So, if you haven't seen it yet, in terms of both the Rumble matches, WWE have now adopted like an ESPN sports bar at the bottom, which basically tells you how many people are in the ring, how many people have been eliminated, what the next number is. It just goes through the stats as the match progresses. It was generally amazing. It was just kind of like
so good.
it made kind of describing what was happening on the live reactions very easy. You can just go, well, there are currently 6 active competitors, 3 have been eliminated, and the next number is number 10.
I mean, it did make our lives easier, to be fair, because even we were like, who's up next? And it's like, or who's in the ring? It's like, oh yeah, it's like 24. It's like, oh yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then obviously live tracking the timers as well. So I think Perez has now the record for Iron Woman, 1 hour 7 minutes and a few seconds after that. So beats Bailey again. Yeah. Again, you build that Bailey feud so she can turn up and go, haha, I'm now the longest running person in the Rumble. All that sort of stuff.
That's true.
But yeah, I think this match was building for one thing, and that was the return of Charlotte Flair. Like I said, it's great to see Flair back. I know people kind of roll the eyes of Flair wins, LOL, and that sort of thing. And I think this is the thing. I think you kind of expect that with Flair now. It's like she is top tier female stars on WWE. You need to book her as such. And that's the thing. 14 championships already. You look back at the previous like regime's booking, and she was always unbeatable. So it'll be interesting to see with Triple H's booking going into this Mania and so forth, how that's going to unfold. Is it going to be an instant championship? Who knows? I don't know. But I would expect Flair to probably challenge Stratton. Part of me doesn't see her winning, to be honest. I think if they're serious about making Stratton a big star or like a new face of that division, Flair has to lose at Mania. That's the kind of thought. Your thoughts, Harriet? Sorry.
No, I agree. I think, like you said, if Stratton is now a champion and they're trying to build her, that would be a huge shock if she did win. But also, look at the commotion that it would cause, and it would make Tiffany a big star, and then pretty much a future possible Charlotte Flair. You know, because it kind of makes sense. It's like she is. I do like Tiffany, though, I will say. So I think if you keep the belt on to her till like SummerSlam or past that, I think it would work well. Keep it on her for now because she's great. The whole logic, it is going to be Charlotte Flair versus her because I think Charlotte is going to SmackDown anyway. So yeah, I mean, main event though, I don't know. We'll see. It's just like that's the thing I'm more worried about. It's just like, can it work as a main event? But because Charlotte Flair, who knows? But yeah, with Charlotte Flair, it is good to see her. I'm not her biggest fan, I will say, but I don't hate her. It's just more of a, I like other wrestlers more than her. So it happens. Fair play, she's won. It was going to be a thing. We'll just have to see what happens now to WrestleMania. Her and Tiffany will probably there'll probably be an interaction on SmackDown on Friday anyway, and then that's where it's going to kick off. And yeah, I think she will win at SummerSlam. No, WrestleMania.
Little message from Matty Boo.
Yes.
So I think Charlotte will end up winning a mid-card title, make a new Grand Slam champ. She could possibly squash Chelsea Green very quickly.
Yeah, that's
Never
true.
know. Or Lyra. But I think it's going to be SmackDown based. Basically, you know how they are with in WWE, but they put wrestlers and the partners together on the same show. So Andrade's on SmackDown, Charlotte's on SmackDown. It makes a lot of sense. So
yeah, exactly.
But we shall see. I mean, the other question as well about the Rumble and the winners per se is they state very firmly it's the main event of WrestleMania.
Yes.
I don't know how firm that's going to be perfectly honest, because I based on the men's result as well, I don't want to be mean, but I do not see the potential matches on both the men's and women's Rumble victories going to be main events.
I mean, I can answer that.
Yeah.
Because last year, Bayley versus Io Sky was not a main event. And yet Bayley won, and then it was a case of, well, she's going to main event WrestleMania. She didn't. No one really cared about that match, sadly. But unfortunately, but no, in a good way, it ended up being probably one of the better matches of WrestleMania. So it was just like, yeah, it's hard because I know they say it's going to happen, but it doesn't. So yeah.
Yes, indeed. But anyway, that is Women's Rumble. I think, solid Rumble. Nothing. I'd say there are fun moments to be had with it, but I wouldn't necessarily say it is one of the great Rumbles. I think from a storytelling perspective, last year and even the year one was probably stronger. It's just it is how it is for this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Let us move on to, after all that, we had to have a bit of a cool down, and that was pretty much Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY for the Tag Team Championships. 2 out of 3 falls.
Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't mind this match. But also, it's kind of one of those matches that filled the gap of the whole pay-per-view, but it was not the strongest. I will put my hands up. I will say right here and there, it was more of a case of it happened. I can understand why it happened. As Matty said, padding. Very much so. And it's quite surprising to actually have a tag match in a pay-per-view because it's very rare it actually happens nowadays. And it's just I really like I'm starting to get to know we were talking about this last night, how we didn't really know Motor City Machine Guns prior TNA or prior WWE, and now we're starting to learn how they are good on SmackDown, and obviously DIY are now heels. I like the idea of the 2 out of 3 falls because obviously it's been on and off for the last few weeks or the last few months actually. But not the strongest. The ending was very confusing.
Yes. So the way this went down. So DIY got the first pinfall pretty quickly with a fake out tag, allowing Ciampa to score a pinfall, and then through sheer resilience and getting back into it, Motor City Machine Guns hit Skull and Bones, and it went 1-1. And then just as Motor City Machine Guns have the opportunity to win this match, when Angelo Dawkins turns up with a crutch and just casually whacks Motor City Machine Guns with it, and then also Montez Ford is also on the other side causing a ruckus as well. And yes, DIY score the final pinfall, but then they just get jumped by Street Profits. So it's kind of like Street Profits. This is the thing. So it gives a sense that Street Profits are having a bit of a they are possibly having a more of a heelish run than their attempt at a heel run with Lashley back in, I want to say 23.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a year or so ago, just over. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they tried it and then it didn't necessarily go went full like all the way forward, because
Yeah.
that's when BFAB also joined the faction and became the sort of manager for Street Profits. It was very weird. That's all I can say. And basically after a while they went, no, we should all just be here. We should all just be faces. Fair enough. All right, cool. Especially when it came up to fighting Final Testament at WrestleMania last year.
Yeah.
So I would like to think with this, they are going to be a lot more edgier and a lot more potentially heelish, because you can still position Motor City Machine Guns as your faces there. I think Pretty Deadly are going to probably turn face as well, because they kind of told DIY to screw themselves on the night before at SmackDown. So you've got a couple of face teams, you've got a couple of heel teams, you've got Street Profits, you'll have DIY, or Scouser, all that sort of stuff. So tag team division of SmackDown is really good. It's like you've got some really talented teams there as well. So it's going to get interesting. If Street Profits do go in the heel direction, I would like them to stop going, we want the smoke. They definitely cannot have the happy go. I think they didn't have the happy go lucky music when they started their thing with Lashley, and then they went, no, quick, just revert everything back. We'll be fine. Pretend that none of this happened. We still wanted the smoke. Fair enough. All that sort of stuff.
Just rewind, never happened.
Rewind. It never happened. BFAB's been here the whole time. Lashley was our friend, and then he went to AEW. I don't know. I would like the Phantom Man of the Street Profits. They're a very, very good team. They have amazing matches when, like, on big events. The one they had against the Usos years ago was amazing. But they need to have something new with their act. And if this is the start of them being new, edgy, meaner, nastier, I'm all in for it. I'll be happy with it. But they can't turn up on SmackDown next week and go, hey everyone, did you miss us? And the crowd goes, yay! And then they go with the smoke, because it's like, it's like we haven't learned anything.
All that for nothing, sort of thing.
Yeah, it'll be like, don't turn into like the Big Show heel face turns.
Oh no!
It's like, you were very heelish at the Royal Rumble. Why are you now faces on SmackDown? I don't know.
Wrestling.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I think if this had a bit more time to breathe and this was more like a takeover tag team match, I think this would have been a lot more well received. It was over and done very quickly, which was a bit of a shame. But yeah, there it is. Oh, hopefully SmackDown matches seem to have a lot more time as well. So we'll see. Any final thoughts on that before we move on to our next match?
I think, yeah, it's pretty much nail on the head. It's just, hopefully, with the Street Profits do turn heel, stick to it. Don't be like, oh no, they're tweeners, or when we're faces. It's just like, well, you did a lot of heelish behavior, and it's kind of like, stick to that. Make it more interesting. So then you kind of have them against Motor City. That's hard to say. Motor City Machine Guns. There we go. As well as DIY. So you have two heels versus like faces, and then, as you said, Pretty Deadly. If they become faces, then you have like equal balancing sort of there. We'll see. Let's see what happens on SmackDown, and then hopefully they stick to it.
I think if this gets very competitive, I think we are moving towards a multi-man ladder match or something like that at Mania. Which will be fun. It won't be for 2 sets of belts this time. It'll be for 1 set of belt. And it's like, I don't know how like the Raw tag team thing's gonna kind of, because you got Raw Raiders. Raw Raiders are still going. Judgment Day.
Another thing that's also night and day. It's kind of like each show has their weaknesses and each one has their strengths. The tags are better on SmackDown than they are on Raw, I will say.
They've got Theory and Waller, but they're off to NXT at the moment battling over Femi. Because
well, they're not having
side tangent. That was the most what are we doing here in terms of NXT thing. I mean, women's division, fine, wonderful. We're doing great stuff. Let's crack on. Obafemi has rightfully won the NXT championship. He should be destroying people left, right, and center. He should have like a decent challenge to come and go, I'm going to take you down, Obafemi. And then it's like, okay, I'll just completely destroy in the ring. And then it's like, oh, okay, I'll have a triple threat with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. And it's like, what are we doing here? No reason other than Obafemi going, I want to destroy someone.
I want to have two.
Well, no, it's like Ava decided it was two afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She was just like, no, it's fine. You can have two. You've earned it.
He's gonna do the Roman Reigns. He's gonna stack them on top of each other and he's gonna pin them at the same time.
Yeah, literally just lean back and just like, there you go.
Yeah. Well, like he did at Deadline, where he just put the hands on the people and just went, yeah, this is a pin. Anyway, and then we move on in the show to probably the best match. I would probably say it's the best match of the night in terms of like storytelling aspects, full storytelling aspects.
Yeah.
It's the ladder match between Cody and Kevin Owens.
My word. My word. It was painful, but
this was brutal. I mean, to be honest, the brutality of this really again sold the fact that this has been a really good blood feud that had been going on for a couple of months. A really good VT as well with Papa Roach music playing as well, which really did sell like the anger, the frustration, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, this match ultimately kind of started playing into the fact that I don't think Cody's okay.
I think he's going down a path that is kind of this is something we haven't seen with Cody before. Well, in this storyline anyway, and it's just like I'm intrigued. Yeah,
so the ladders were in the use straight from the off. I mean, Rhodes went through the ladder on the alleyway, so basically the ladder fell over, opened up, and then we'll just throw Cody through the rungs. It looked really painful, all that sort of stuff. There was even a little trip into the audience, beers and drinks thrown at one another, and then they just did a full circle and they went straight back. Yeah. This was the match also sponsored by Wingstop, by the way. So think about your chicken drumsticks. We are not sponsored by Wingstop, by the way.
No.
But the ring wanted to remind you that this was all about Wingstop. So if you felt hungry for chicken, this is why.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lit. It's like ladders galore. People were going for tables, and it's like I had a little whinge on the live reactions, just saying, it's a ladder match. You're getting bloody ladders. Shut up and have the ladders. You don't say you want ladders during a tables match.
You will get ladders, and you will like it.
You don't get stairs. You don't get chairs during like a submissions match. You don't just call out like we want tables. We just like, oh yeah, of course we're gonna get out the table because you the fan, you're special. You should have a table every match.
You were mad. You were mad.
I was mad. I was mad about the people asking for tables because the ladders themselves were much more brutal weapons than the tables. This match definitely proved this.
I mean, even the small ladders caused some damage. So
yes, the MVP ladder of the whole match was the tiny ladder that Kevin Owens just randomly found and decided to use it as a weapon.
I tried to do a power slam and was like, nah.
It's like I was like, I could slam Cody on this ladder. Nah, don't want to do that. There's apparently the great line from Pat McAfee saying this little ladder is certainly a menace. Also some callbacks to old matches of Cody Rhodes against people like Wade Barrett. Broke off a rung of the ladder, tried to force feed the ladder rung to KO against the ropes, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it was the big drops and slams on the ladders in the tail end of this match were just
Oh,
Very bad. Obviously, hopefully done safely and done with minimal pain. There's obviously going to be some pain with that. But
yes.
you had
Yeah.
the uh, back body drop of Owens onto the ladder on its side, which is never nice. It always reminds me of Homer and the fire hydrant, going, "This looks more painful than it actually is."
Yeah.
There was also, oh, what was it? There's also like there was so many ladder bridges as well. There was
Yeah.
ladder bridge from apron to table, ladder bridge from ladder to ring rope. This could be
Yeah.
absolutely fine. Um,
I think there
and
was one
then
where Cody was thrown into like a corner of the ladder and it looked like it hit his neck, but it was his
yeah,
shoulder and his neck, and it was just like, oh,
yeah, it just
crikey.
it was like the more it was going on, you knew something kind of uber big was happening, either off the top of a ladder, which
Hmm.
surprisingly no one did. I thought someone would do something silly off the top of a ladder. Thankfully, they didn't. But
I mean,
what Cody Rhodes did do was an Alabama slam of KO through a ladder, breaking said ladder, making KO look like he'd been stuck in a rabbit hole, like in Winnie the Pooh. Oh, bother. Much to the shock of Nick Aldis, Sami Zayn, who did pop down to kind of check up on Kevin, but did not get
yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
It was just that. I mean, the reaction on the live, on the response on the live reaction, it was, you knew it was coming, but it was still painful. And then you look back and you just see the image of Kevin Owens just head
Still in the,
vanished,
still in the same position. Yeah.
just kind of just stuck in like, I am stuck and I can't seem to move.
I'm okay. You carry on. Oh my god. It was just like so brutal. And it kind of, you did see Cody snap as well, which is the
Yeah.
reason why it led to this, because it was just like, do you know what? Screw this. Boom. And it was just, we knew the ladder was going to be used in some form. It was just like you said, we didn't think it was going to be used in this way, because I think he did try to do a move on the announce table and then it switched on to the ladder. And then Cody just casually just walking up and just grabbing one like, one title at the title.
Because I thought at this moment maybe Sammy might get involved and say, "Hey, you just hurt my best friend. I can't let you take the belts like this.
Yeah.
Fight like a proper champion," all that sort of stuff. But no, Cody grabs the belts, he retains. People seem to be happy. And then Cody does the dickish of things and just goes to the table, stands there with the belts going, "Look at me! I won! I won! I won!" And as Matty Boo rightly says, Cody Rhodes was being a bit of a dick.
It's like Kevin can now smell colors at this point. How much he's been brain busted, and he was badly bleeding as well. I think it was before this whole spot anyway, where Cody went completely crazy. But now it kind of, I think this also leads into the whole thing with Sammy, because Sammy is also going down his confusing path of like, he's trying to be selfish as well, but he's also very selfless. So with the whole thing that's been happening on Raw, and like Kevin was saying, "Oh, you'll help me out," sort of thing, and then I'm guessing that's going to play into effects whenever Kevin comes back. Like, you didn't help me. And again, everything kind of interconnects with each other in this aspect, which is good. It's like there is, I know there seems there's a brand split, but also it does weave its way in some forms again. Rumble. So I like the fact that they're also it was quite nice to see Sammy, but like you said, I thought he was going to interrupt and try and stop Cody, but he didn't, because he was more concerned for his friend. But still,
part of me thinks, because if Cody needs to have an interim WWE Championship defense, say Elimination Chamber in the run up to, or during a European show in the run up to Mania, Sami Zayn's a pretty good option here, because Sami Zayn could turn up on SmackDown and go, "You hurt my friend, despite the fact I don't agree with my friend. You hurt him pretty bad, and you were a bit of a dick about the celebrations. So I'm going to take the belt off you here. It won't. It might not happen. It will. It won't happen. Could happen. You never know. And then you still get Sammy versus Owens at Mania. This is one of the coolest things about when you have the men's Rumble, and this still throws a lot of things up in the air.
Yeah.
It's like, you're curious to see where this goes now with Zayn. Whether Zayn is out for vengeance, or Zayn's going to go on his own path and then Owens comes back for vengeance saying, hey, you didn't help me. How dare you? All that sort of stuff. It makes it very fascinating. And the whole thing from Monday's promo on Raw with Punk of Cody just going, I want to be just a champion. I want to. Hang on. I've got it here. I've got a good prop here.
Oh,
I
yeah, you
just
got
want to be a
prop.
champion. I don't want to have the belt. And I want to do things. I want to do the talk shows, the radio shows. I want to be friends with everyone. And everyone's trying to hurt me. Everyone's being mean to me. My friends are being mean. KO's being mean. Sammy kicked me in the face this evening.
Does that make me like the Kevin Owens? Because I've got the women's, but it's toys. It's the kids one. You got the proper one, so you win.
But it's like everyone's
But
being
you're right.
mean to Cody. Why is everyone being mean to Cody? You're the bloody champion, Cody. That's why everyone's being mean to you. Punk told you very clearly. You're on top of a mountain. The only way now is down.
It literally is like who's going to be king in like the I suppose like the ruler, because as CM Punk said, there's always one person who's going to be out there to try and outdo you. That was a great promo, by the way, on Monday with him and Cody. But yeah, the whole thing of Cody now realizing, oh my god, there is like a double-edged sword to actually winning the championship. That's why I like this, because it's like it's not all roses, you know, as such. It's just more, wait a minute, people actually want my championship. They're after me.
Unhinged paranoid Cody would be fun for a bit.
I mean,
everyone's trying to take my belt from me. I don't want them to take my belt from me. Well, you need to fight, Cody. I will fight. Maybe when he's unhinged, that he's able to kind of overcome the adversity. But if we are leaning towards unhinged Cody and being more of a dick Cody, I'm kind of going, okay, I'm interested.
Yes, so am I.
Because that's why like a Cody and Cena WrestleMania match. From a story perspective, how do you make that work? Really?
Now, funny enough, you know my predictions. Back in the when we were talking about it, I'm going to read one of the things I actually wrote, and it was along the lines of Cody turns heel but becomes a face again thanks to John Cena. And I literally wrote that. And this is after John beats Cody to become a record-breaking champion. So I think it is going to happen. And I think Cena is going to be the one who kind of brings Cody back to the light, because Cena has always been the pure face throughout throughout the whole of the company, Evan's time there. That's my theory. And that was like the second thing I wrote down when I was writing my prediction. So I think you're on. Yeah, I think that could be a thing that could happen.
It could work, but I think, again, it happening at Mania is, again, too early for Cena.
No, I think it's going to happen at the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about Cena now, because anything else to talk about on the ladder match?
Ouch.
Ouch. Give this rain out of 5 stars. 5 ouches.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
That was brutal, but it was in a good way. A good way to stop now with Kevin. I think Kevin's probably gonna. I don't know if he's gonna be. There's a whole level of delusion in the company at the moment, as I have said, with Drew, with Kevin, and now Cody. It's like someone's in the water in WWE at the moment. I like it though. That's the thing.
Are we back?
Oh, yes, I think you are. Yeah.
Okay. Apologies. We went off a little bit there. I don't know what happened.
Oh, that's fine. I think I came through okay, so I think everyone did here. But yeah, it's kind of delusion. Good. Keep at it, but don't overthrow it, so to speak. Just keep it as it is at the moment. Minimal. Stick to it and let it grow slowly, because I think this is a thing that will happen throughout, even past WrestleMania. I think.
Yeah.
I think with the whole thing, Cody, I think the breaking point probably will be WrestleMania. I think.
Yeah.
Whoever he faces.
I think if he ultimately does face someone who is also a babyface, and it pushes Cody to an edge that makes him kind of do something unsavory as a champion, whether that be whether that be whether that be using the ropes, using a weapon, cheating, or something like that. It adds to that. It does add to that.
Yeah, that's true.
But after the match, apparently Cody was really banged up, and his WWE future was in doubt, according to the post show, which means turn up to SmackDown.
Yeah, he'll be there. He'll be fighting again.
He'll be there. He'll probably be in his RV unit with his American vodka, kind of going, "I'm okay. People think I'm hurt. I'm not hurt. I'm Cody. I'm a champion. Everyone's trying to hurt me." Cody, come out of the RV. No. I like it in here.
He's just huddled in the corners, like, no.
With the belt going. With the 2 belts now around there. My belts.
Oh gosh, yes, he's got the winged eagle now as well. Or will that be put back into retirement? I don't know.
I don't know. All that crowd stuff got to his head. I don't know.
It's cursed. That's what it is. It's the belt that's cursed.
It's the belt that cursed. Put the winged eagle back in the box, and the evil demons will go away.
We solved the riddle.
There we go. Now we know why everyone's turning me. I mean, quickly, I thought Randy Orton would probably turn up in this match as well and help Cody, but then give Cody an RKO, and then further that sort of thing of, my friends just want to hurt me. Because they've got to pay off the amount of times Randy Orton's gone, say, that's a nice belt.
I know. Just stares at it. There's so many photos of him just staring at the belt as well.
It's like, Randy, are you okay? It's like, I'm okay. I'm just looking at this belt. It's a nice belt. Why did they change it to gold? Can I add vipers on it?
And then someone's like, Randy.
It's Randy. Like, Randy. Huh? What? Okay. Randy, why did you RKO the person that snapped you out of your trance? Oh, it's just force of habit. Just a force of habit. All that other stuff. Anyway, we move on to our main event, which was the men's Royal Rumble match. Arguably one of pretty much the best storyline build to a Royal Rumble. Numerous people could have won this Rumble. But I think it's been very interesting to see the responses for this. Because from out of complete nowhere, considering he's already just come out of a championship program feud with Gunther, Jey Uso defies the odds and becomes a very genuinely surprising Rumble winner. And it's like, on our live reactions, we were both kind of stunned.
Yeah. To
be perfectly honest, we were just kind of going, "Oh, it's Jey. Yay." Not in a sort of a bad way. It was just, the fact of the matter is with Cena and the hunt for 17th world title, it was never going to be Cena to win this.
No.
And it was just like, he did one promo at the start of January and he turns up and wins. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't I said it on the live reactions. It just didn't. It would be stupid to give Cena the win here.
Yeah.
In a way.
I think it's going to be a year-long thing of him nearly getting it. And then what I was saying with Cody at the end, like he wins it from him or wins towards the end. And then, because if he won it at WrestleMania, then the rest of the year, it's kind of what's going to happen. I think if this is his last year, build it up. And then we'll all be emotional. We're all going to cry. We're all going to be so happy that Cena's won. And then maybe he might do its Sting and just like leaves after that sort of thing.
I think I talked about this on our Rumble, which is our live like wrestling chatter show where we talk about other things other than the main storyline shows. Yeah. I am still of the belief that Cena wins it at the end of the year. He vacates it after winning it, and the next Rumble, annoyingly in Saudi Arabia, is going to be for a belt.
Yeah.
It'll be like a callback to 92 and 2016.
And funny enough, for the women's one back in the Thunderdome days, when ironically Becky was pregnant and the belt was in the case, and Asuka won the belt. She didn't know.
Yeah.
So
pretty much. So Jey Uso is the winner. I mean, the fact that it's been a very kind of polarizing sort of thing. I mean, a lot of the other wrestling content creators that we follow and support from their live reactions, Wrestle Tour, Cultaholic, very positive reactions. They seem genuinely pleased for Jey to win this. And then you go on to the cesspool that is X. And everyone is having a frothy fit about the fact that he's not a star. You need to give it to stars like Cena or Punk or Roman, all that sort of stuff. And this is the thing that kind of has annoyed. It's like I've been thinking about this, and this is the point that I've kind of settled on. It's like wrestling fans, the I don't want to say purist ones, but it's just like the ones who feel like there needs to be some sort of pageantry, or basically it's like the big things need to be the big things in wrestling. I don't know. I've worded that correctly, but go with me on this.
Yeah,
you can't complain about one thing, and then when the other thing happens, you still effing complain about it. Because for years, under the old regime, probably once we get past the last two Codys and stuff like that, you always had someone who won the Rumble that no one really felt invested in. It was someone that management would say, "Hey, this is the important person. You should feel that Roman Reigns is important." Ill-advised in 2015. Brock Lesnar's always the big important. John Cena's always the big one. And the fact is, for years after years, in the 2010s era, we've had the champion or the person who wins the Rumble that booking has decided that you should be following.
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff. Basically, any sort of star that gets over, the booking just said, no, you're not gonna have the champions that you like. We're gonna give you the champions that we think you should like. And here comes Jey Uso. Jey Uso over the last couple of years, from 2020 all to here, he has progressively over the years organically got himself over with the crowd. He has arguably one of the most engaging entrances in terms of presentation. The fans clearly love him. And this is someone who has organically got over with the crowd. And WWE have seen this. Probably they've seen this and gone, you know what? We are going to give this guy a chance. And we are going to see if he can really step up to main event Jey Uso. And you're making a new star. And that's what the Royal Rumble used to kind of be at times. Especially during the late 90s, early noughties. It was about making the next big star. I mean, it's like you look at Rey Mysterio winning his Rumble and then becoming the champion. I'm trying to think of other good examples here. It's off the top of my head, but it's all these things of just these stars. Yeah, the crowd when he entered the Rumble was massive as well. Thanks, Matty.
Yeah.
It's just like that's been the thing about the Rumble. It's kind of like you start to build new stars, you start to make people feel like a big deal that you wouldn't expect would be a big deal. And we get this with Jey. Honestly, generally a surprise, because I thought it was Punk. I think a lot of people thought it was Punk. A lot of people thought maybe it's going to be Cena, maybe it might be Roman, all that sort of stuff. But this is the joy of this Rumble. There were so many potential people that could win, and people would be fine with it.
Yeah.
But because it's not the person who is the Roman Reigns, the John Cena, the CM Punk, people are now just going, oh, this is why I don't watch WWE. It's like,
well, don't.
What do you want from this promotion then? It's
you
like
can't win.
You can't. Yeah, you can't just. You cannot. You absolutely cannot sit and bemoan the fact of Brock Lesnar winning the Rumble, Reigns ill-advisedly winning the Rumble, Orton winning the Rumble. They're just winning the Rumble time after time after time. And people that you're not invested in. I think the only couple of times I think we were ever invested in the winners was when Drew won in 2020, probably Edge when he won in 21, because that was quite cool. But yeah, 22 was a shit show. I mean, Seth was okay, but didn't make a big deal about it, because it was like the whole he kind of gone off at some point on that point of his career.
Then Cody last year and the year prior as well.
I mean, it's not. I mean, Matty said it was because it looked great. No, it's like it's like things in chats on live video reactions and so forth and stuff like that. It's also on Blue Sky.
I've seen it on Facebook this morning, so it's everywhere.
People are just, I don't know. People are entitled to their opinions. That's absolutely fine. But
yeah.
But I just generally just go looking at this. I'm like, what the F do you actually want from this promotion?
Yeah.
Because if it's not, it's subjective. It's all that sort of stuff. But that I just felt like I just kind of had to say that because it's like, I mean, if Logan Paul won it, by all means, well, let's all be fucking pissed about it. Apologies,
Exactly.
because no one wanted Logan Paul to win, and that potential thing was dangerously close.
It was.
I mean, he got powered up by a bottle of Prime during his jump onto the table. Don't even have any Lunchables. I don't know.
Yet.
Yet.
Stitch actually put it perfectly. Fans are never happy. You will
Yeah.
never. I said this to you as well off chat. It's just like, you will never please everyone. I know, and everyone's saying, "Oh, this is the worst decision Triple H has made in his career." It's like, no, it's not. It really isn't. It's like you said, and Matty said it as well. You need to build stars. You can't rely on the ones of old. It's just, it can't be flavor. It can't be of like, I'm picking you because I like you, because that's what happened in the old days. It did not end well. I still remember the day I sat on that bed when I reacted to Roman winning the Royal Rumble, and even I said, I'm not even going to talk about this on social media, because I was a Reigns fan, and I was like, I know what's coming, and I'm going to keep stum. And I'm like, even I believed he shouldn't have won that year. There have been bad examples. I mean, I've been watching the 24/7 on WWE, and it's watching the older ones is great, because as you said, it's like the ones of the superstars who should be growing. And the whole thing with Jey is that, like you said, the crowd interaction, the going into the ring, outside the ring before he goes into the arena, it's just like, this is what the crowd wanted, and I'm so happy he has won. I know people are like, oh, well, he shouldn't have. It should have been Cena. It should have been Punk. It's like, well, no, because they have their own storylines that are going to build to Mania. Because if you think about it, everything that happened outside the ring, that's going to lead to a whole different story. So I'm kind of glad he has won, because now it gives him that opportunity to have that storyline with Gunther. He probably will win the championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm. And then you have all the other superstars who are separated. So you have to think about 2 steps ahead in regards to what's going to happen in the future, because this is beneficial for everyone. But unfortunately, because the fact that CM Punk did not win, or Roman or Drew, the fans are like, sod this. It's kind of like they're not happy. But it's like you said, you cannot please the fans, and it's annoying, because it's like, they're trying something, we say new, because it is. It's not like we're just picking them because, like, the whole thing with Charlotte wins, lol, sort of thing. You're giving Jey a chance because the company is listening, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, we could use this to our advantage. We could sell more stuff with this. We can advertise him more. And that's where they're going with it, because it's a company, it's a business. But unfortunately, people are just saying, oh no, Jey lost so we're never going to watch it again. And it's just like, well, good, watch something else. Don't care. You know, you're going to have other people who are going to support Jey, like us, and like the other shows as well. So,
and also, Jey's going to be featured probably a lot on this upcoming run to WrestleMania, in terms of house shows, in terms of live events, all that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
Whereas Cena's limited because he's filming Matchbox Cars, the movie, which was a weird. Basically, I read the description of basically cars stopping a natural disaster. All right.
See you in 5 weeks.
I did like Cena. We'll talk about Cena's comments after the Rumble. Yeah, Punk might not be on every house show. He might be on 1 or 2, but he definitely will not be on all of them. And then obviously Roman, with his schedule and his kind of schedule now, again, you're not going to see him apart from like a couple of big shows.
Yeah.
So having your Rumble winner and your potential WrestleMania main eventer front and center for that entire thing, building that sort of crowd momentum, I think is a good opportunity as well. So
yeah,
we will see. So, I mean, we've talked a lot about the winner. I mean, in terms of the Rumble itself, it was a Rumble of 2 halves, but also just a Rumble of 2 halves of first half, silly fun. Second half, oh my God, this seems to keep escalating to an nth degree. So we started off with Rey Mysterio and the man who walks like a sexy panther. Penta doing his little shuffle, all that sort of stuff. So we had a mini dream match to begin with Penta and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Penta may or may not have landed on both feet on the floor. Some people have looked back and gone, oh no, wait, it has been just one foot. He was very lucky. All that sort of stuff. But then again, it would have been awkward if Penta actually won the Rumble if both feet had touched the floor. But in this case, it's like, he's going to be in for a bet and then he's going to get eliminated. It's fine. Who cares? Yeah. All that sort of stuff. I mean, the first sort of chapter, it was basically the Luchadors versus Chad Gable. You had Ray, you had Penta, you had Santos Escobar come in. Carmelo Hayes was there as well, who kind of does some high fly moves as well. And that was a good little kind of back and forth a bit. Things really picked up when Bron Breakker turned up, when he eliminated both Carmelo Hayes and Otis. And Bron Breakker just had a fun time in this Rumble. I think you can judge by my reactions. I flipping love Bron Breakker and his spears now. I mean, here's the thing. I remember seeing him on the first episode of NXT 2.0, and he's just bouncing around like a gormless guppy fish, just kind of going, I just want a chance to fight and prove myself. And it's like, what the F is this? And then over the, because he beat LA Knight on that first episode.
Oh my God.
And it's like, this is when Von Wagner could have won the NXT Championship on the first night of 2.0, but it was actually Ciampa who won it in the end. My God, years ago. Horrible, colourful memory dreams years ago. Anyway.
Oh, that was a fever dream in itself, 2.0.
It was a fever dream that made no bloody sense. Thank God it's not that anymore. So yeah, Bron Breakker is just, I just love how he's really kind of embraced being like a tween a badass. So basically, he can be sometimes a fun baby face, but more often not, he's just going to hurt the living hell out of you. So spears galore. One said spear happened when Akira Tozawa came out, got beaten up by Carmelo Hayes because he was annoying, got eliminated, and YouTuber Isho Speed got his calling to take part in the Rumble. Now, some people bemoan the fact that, why influencers and YouTubers getting involved? If it is done like this, I do not mind, because it's funny regardless. I don't know a lot about Isho Speed. I know he was the prime bottle at Mania last year and got RKO'd, all that sort of stuff. But no, just the novelty of going, I'm in the Rumble. I've helped Bron Breakker eliminate Otis. Yay me, yay me. Oh no, I've been speared to death. And it's like I shared a video with the Bunker team. On TV, it looks like a pretty tame spear. It looks like an away. But then I looked at the video clip that Sean Ross Sapp had from Fightful watching the event. It looks like his Speed got smacked with a train. It was just amazing.
He just went flying.
He went flying, got thrown out, got caught by Otis, and then flung him over the table. He did actually have a pretty nasty scratch on his leg coming out of it as well.
I did see, because apparently Logan saw it afterwards, check on him, and he's like, "Oh, dude."
But yeah, I'm fine with that. It's fine. It's okay. That's like your comedy spot. That's your celebrity comedy spot of the year. It's what the Drew Carey spot is perfected to be. It's True. Like you're in. You don't do much, but the payoff is brilliant. That's the way it works.
I will admit, I was a bit annoyed, because I even said, it's like, he's going to turn up, isn't he? But then, like you said, the payoff was like, do you know what? Worth it.
We had Ludwig Kaiser doing the, oh no, I'm in, I'm out game as well.
The Santina Morella.
That was quite funny. That was quite funny. It's like, no, I don't need to rush in. I'm efficient at this. I can wait. I can enjoy a lovely coffee, some delightful European sweets, chocolate, all that sort of stuff. And then I can go in and win. It just goes in and gets immediately thrown out.
It's great.
Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, obviously Jacob Fatu came in and caused absolute havoc, but also did a lot of terrific selling, especially taking a Mexican destroyer from Penta.
Oh my God, yeah. Holy moly, that was good. Yeah, I will
Mm.
say.
It's just
And
going
he
to be, Penta's has done a destroyer. All right.
He
As
even
you
did a
do.
power slam to Penta and Rey Mysterio, like lifted them both up and then suddenly bye.
Oh yeah. So we had Jacob Fatu had a pretty good showing in there. Miz was still displaying some stuff because he had a really good match with Andrade. And he was still displaying some stuff. I mean, he tried to Hurricane Rana Jacob Fatu. Did not end well. Not in the slightest. And then at the halfway point, the dream finally happened. Joe Henry turned up. And it's basically from when Joe Henry turns up, we go into like another gear on this Rumble. And it's amazing. Joe Henry turns up. He does. We all get to clap along. The crowd were eating it up. Even Sheamus was enjoying himself. He was in the corner just going, I don't know who this guy is, but I like him. Gives a standing ovation to the Miz. And before he could do anything else, Jacob Fatu takes him out for a bit. And Sheamus is going, what did you do that for? Why? I was having a wonderful time. I like the guy. All that sort of stuff.
That's amazing.
And then Roman Reigns enters afterwards.
I think we lost it after this.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was great to see Joe Hendry. And I was like, oh my God, they're actually going to be in the ring together. What?
I mean, yeah, Joe Hendry was in it for like all but like 3-4 minutes. But the fact is, you're a TNA World Champion. You're on one of the biggest Royal Rumbles in terms of audience attention and viewership, all that sort of stuff. You get to spend a minute or so with arguably the biggest star in WWE, Roman Reigns. You get eliminated by Roman. It's like we all know Joe Henry wasn't going to win or have like a massive like big run. It would have been cool he had a big run. But the fact is, just have that interaction alone is a hell of a statement, or a hell of like an honor from WWE, to be honest.
Yes, definitely.
I bet he was having the time of his life there, to be perfectly honest.
Living the dream.
Pretty much. Things started picking up even further. Drew McIntyre entered the field. We'll talk about Drew in a little bit. Then, for some reason, there's Finn Balor.
Hi, Finn.
Hi, Finn. Hi,
Welcome
Finn.
back.
I mean, we both said on live reactions, Finn's off for a couple of weeks. He'll be back soon. Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura was afterwards just like, okay, you're a US champion. You didn't seem to do much, but fair enough. Welcome to the fray. Returning AJ Styles with original music and original gear.
That was a nice surprise.
Nice to see him back. Braun Strowman turned up and took out Fatu, and then John Cena turned up, and then he was getting a little bit emotional in the aisle, getting ready to go into it.
Yeah, I think I was getting a bit emotional because it's like, blimey, this is it. I mean, I found this ironically today while I was cleaning up and all that, and I'm going to wear it today because I think it's quite suitable for today, to be fair.
Yeah, it's like the next couple ones after like Cena's like Cena, Punk, Rollins, and it's just like, for those ones, they didn't really do much. They just came in and just stared at people. John Cena was looking kind of going, hi, I'm here. I'm John Cena.
Yeah.
For that little bit. And then the following people were Dominic, Sami Zayn, Damian Priest, Eddie Knight, Logan Paul was number 30.
Yeah.
And then the big points. Punk took out Seth and Roman, who were having a really good confrontation. And then Logan Paul, the bastard, took out Punk.
Oh, the crowd did not like that.
No, but it led to like a really intense bit around the ring of Seth 2-foot stomping Roman.
Yes,
which looked very nasty.
That was brutal. That was very like evil. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, there were stomps, there were go to sleeps all around between the three.
Yeah.
What happens to those three is going to be interesting going forward into Mania. All that sort of stuff. The curious one is Drew McIntyre, because there have been reports of McIntyre storming out after the Rumble because of the way the elimination happened or so forth.
Yeah.
We're not going to kind of speculate on a lot of that. I take that with a pinch of salt because the same thing happened. Probably more probably realistically happened at Survivor Series. I'm just saying it did happen.
Yeah.
But I feel there probably was a lot more real weight to that. I don't know. We'll see, but I don't really want to speculate into that sort of thing.
Yeah. It's always like, let the dust settle after a few days. Then as and when we'll talk about it at the next Rumble if need be. But for now, it's kind of, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Things will become clearer there. Yeah. So yeah, final three was we've gone through the finish anyway. So yeah, it was a very fun Rumble. Okay, not all the story beats probably worked, or some people were expecting other things of the story beats. Fair enough. But arguably, it's one of the more, considering the last 2 years we've had Cody, it was still a very entertaining Rumble regardless.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a case of it needed to go in this direction. As I said before, I think it's made everything open up a lot more going forward, moving on to WrestleMania, because you never know. There could be a triple threat between Seth, Roman, and Punk in regards to who faces Cody next. You never know. Or Elimination Chamber could be a big benefactor as to what happens next. Yeah, it's interesting going forward because there are so many storylines that are interweaving, and it's great. I think you needed that. Sadly, like I said, it didn't happen with the women's, but with the men's, I think you have the stories. I'm glad they're sticking with it, especially with Jey winning. Whoever says otherwise. But it's going to be interesting now the next few weeks going up to Elimination Chamber how this happens. Not just with them, but with, like I said prior, with Cody, Kevin, and Sammy, especially. Yeah, it was a good way to kind of end the Rumble, and it's always nice to end the Rumble on a high, like with like people going home happy, because you don't want to have a repeat history of certain people winning, and it's just like, you don't want to leave the deflated, so to speak. So crowd left happy. I mean, I'm sad Cena didn't win, but like I said, it's going to lead on to what happens for the rest of the year. If he won, then it would have been okay, fine.
If Cena said, "I'm retiring at Mania," is the end of it, then Cena should win the Rumble. Makes sense, completely that. But because Cena has very clearly said, "No, I'm not retiring at Mania. I'm having a whole year of this," it kind of tells you, okay, the story has legs. And I think that's the interesting thing coming out of this Rumble, especially with Punk, Roman, Rollins, all that sort of stuff, is you don't know where this is going.
No.
And that's the good thing about this. It should be an unpredictable road to WrestleMania. I mean, sometimes predictability is fine, but it's like for the last couple of weeks we've been told, oh yeah, it's going to be Cody Cena, it's going to be this match, it's going to be this match. It might still be that. It might still be that. But at least this is taking us in a direction where we're going, well, this isn't where we were supposed to be going.
Yeah.
For now. Well, that sort of stuff. I mean, the Cena element from Elimination Chamber post-match, Cena does like a little statement thing, which was really, really cool. And basically just kind of like, I think originally he came in saying, oh yeah, I think that the gist was basically, okay, I kind of took this retirement tour thing a little bit silly. Silly, that's not even a word. I was a little bit silly with this retirement tour because I thought we'd just have a laugh, we'd just be silly. But I really want that 17th title.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of going, well, I'm going in the Elimination Chamber because, quite frankly, I've earned the right over 23 years. And it's like, oh, okay, this is a nice little wrinkle. And he's basically just said, well, I'm not going to be here for the next 5 weeks. So the other 5 people can run their mouth about me, and then I'll see him at the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
So it builds that sort of, okay, I'm interested here. Adds a little wrinkle to it.
I think so. I think it's kind of seen as being selfish, but he has to be, because it's like I said, the whole thing of him being nice throughout the whole of his career. I mean, beginning he was a bit of a jerk, but obviously, that's going to be a thing. But then, like, for the majority of his career, he was good, put over loads of people. Yeah. Be selfish and have that time. It might do it for every time, every big event happening. He might say, I'm going to be in one team in Survivor Series, or I'm going to be in King of the Ring, sort of thing.
If he doesn't win Elimination Chamber, he's probably going to go, right, I need to find my way into having a good a match at Mania. Maybe he starts looking for ways to, again, circa to like the whole Undertaker thing, but this time he's more serious about, no, I want to be in a high profile position on this card because it's my last Mania. Something better well damn happen.
Exactly.
In that sort of way.
Yeah.
And then when he doesn't win at Mania, it's kind of go, well, it's got to be Money in the Bank.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I'm going to be an entrant in that. Yeah, because I was trying to think of other things that kind of has
you can still play the thing of Cena wins Money in the Bank, fails to cash in Money in the Bank. Though it would really annoy me because people should actually win with Money in the Bank every so often, not just once every 5 years, because we're bored. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of places the Cena story can go, and the fact is, it's not finishing at Mania. It's carrying on because they very clearly have positioned the storytelling in terms of the videos and all that stuff. We are going on a journey on this one, and hopefully, it'll be very satisfying when it comes to December.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think in all that is the Royal Rumble review over and done with. Any final thoughts before we wrap up, Harriet?
Let this new road to WrestleMania lead to interesting paths. I'm looking forward to it. The predictability or the unpredictability actually of it, and it's honestly making me looking forward. It's the whole thing, like with the bloodlines, like whenever something else happened at the end of it, it made you want to watch more. And it's like I can't wait for Raw, I can't wait for SmackDown, NXT now as well, because it's going to be a good few months. It's maybe even more excited for the live tour because we're going to see it in we're going to see both shows. So it's just like, oh, even being in the crowd, yeeting will be like so good, and even possibly seeing Cena as well. So I look forward to how this leads to WrestleMania and beyond. I think the right people did win, I suppose. I know people are not happy with it, but stick with it. You don't know what's going to happen from week to week. Just enjoy it,
Yeah.
Wrestling fans I know can be but for those who enjoy it. For those who didn't, I don't know, just keep watching and see what happens. Things happen for a reason. So yeah, in all, Royal Rumble was great. I enjoyed it. I look forward to what happens next.
Indeed. And yes, in terms of wrestling content coming up here on the channel, I believe the next major event, I think, on our cards is AEW Grand Slam, which hopefully Matty and Jeremy, or a member, or a combination of us, and then we'll cover coming up. We've got Elimination Chamber not until March, so probably a bit more relaxed on the WWE content till then. But we'll also have another edition of the Rumble, which is everything else going on in wrestling that isn't the big shows, and that's always quite fun. I think we'll be doing that fairly certain. I think either next week or the week after next. We'll have a date for that confirmed very, very shortly. But yes, your best bet is to follow us here on the channel. You can do so on Twitch and on YouTube at BunkaMania UK. We're also on Blue Sky. We do a lot more posts on Blue Sky as well. That's going to be our main social media notification place of choice. But obviously, videos and all that will go up on YouTube and Twitch. And yes, over on Twitch at the moment, you can catch up on our quiz smash last week as well, which is our pop culture geeky sort of pub quiz. Great fun. We do it on the last Wednesday of every month. And we also have our own stuff that we get on and do. So, Harriet, if people would like to follow you and enjoy your content, where can they do so?
You can find me here on Twitch, Harriet_Manga Girl, on Blue Sky at Manga Girl 232, and YouTube, Harriet in brackets Manga Girl. At the moment, I'm back on Twitch on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Still deciding what game, but it's going to be like a long series continuing on. So at the beginning of the month, it will be like a start of a long story. The end of the month is going to be a horror game. I don't know what yet, but it'll probably be like one-off ones building up per se, plus as well Fortnite and stuff like that. I post my schedule on Blue Sky and kind of chat randomly on there about wrestling, Lorcana, and stuff that I enjoy. So if you want to follow me in there, you can do. YouTube at the moment, I have a couple of videos I need to react to because that's mainly more a reaction channel. Hopefully in the next month or so, because I'm trying to get back into the swing of things again. But yes, you can find me on all three, but mainly Blue Sky is where I post my stuff, and Twitch is where you'll see me most likely.
Thank you very much. And you can follow me over on Twitch and Blue Sky at the Dekker Dane. I stream Mondays and Wednesdays. Tomorrow it's Watch Along. Might do a little bit more Family Feud with TNA wrestlers taking part in the game show and a few other things as well. And then on Wednesday it will be Wacky Fortnite as well. And the week after that, it's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle playthrough continuing as well. So plenty of stuff there to enjoy. Right, let's go over this screen here. And I'm just having a quick look. Oh, Sean Michael Dunn has given us some bits as well. Much appreciated, Sean. Thank you so much. And Matty Boo is, we now do need to call him the Boo. That is what we have been told. Yes, the Boo. Hello, Mr. The Boo. How are you?
Mr.
Oh, and one other, we had a few another quote as well. We had Stitcher kind of come in with the was Charlotte Flair's costume did not fit.
Yes.
It was a weird costume.
We did talk about this because there was a point where they actually broke away, and then they'll say, "Oh, Charlotte's taken her time embracing it," and I'm like, "Nah, she can't undo her zip."
Oh yeah, that was the zip. I think, but yeah, it was kind of like what she usually wore, but it was more like extra like leg straps, and I don't know. It was an interesting attire.
And yeah, it was.
it was standard Charlotte Flair attire. I mean, but just okay. It looks a bit more red. Oh, and obviously the knee brace there as well for a knee injury as well.
Nice,
So
nice and glitzy. I think Matty also put Nia holds the record. I think she does now. I think
yes,
it is
in a single,
yes.
Single, because I can't remember how many people she eliminated at least one or two before she did the big everyone off the ring moments. Everyone off. Get off the ring. It's my ring now. All that sort of stuff. And the Boo does thank us, which is amazing. Cool. Thank you very much, Manny. Right. So without further ado, that is the Royal Rumble review here on BunkaMania Wrestling over and done with. We are on the way to Vegas to hit the jackpot with WrestleMania. Your best bet for all things wrestling discussion-wise on the road to WrestleMania will be here on BunkaMania Wrestling. So until next time, I've been the Dekker Dane, joined by Harriett, aka Manga Girl. It's been a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for joining us. And all together now, a 3, a 2, 1, yeet. Yeet. Yeet indeed. Goodbye.